You don't have a sales problem. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear, because right now you're probably doing everything you can think of to get more sales, creating more listings, trying to improve your tags, refreshing your stats and seeing if any of it makes a difference. But in all that time you're trying to chase sales, you're completely missing the real problem. And it's sitting right in front of you. It's your designs. And it's that they were never actually built to sell. Whether you sell digital, print on demand, handmade, supplies, vintage, or even sourced, this is for you. And let me just say, the biggest culprits for this are if you are selling beaded jewelry, print on demand mugs, notebooks, engraved wall signs, or t-shirts with sayings on them. So here's what's happening. You want more sales, totally reasonable. So you treat it like maybe we have a traffic problem or an SEO problem or maybe a problem ranking in the algorithm. But the problem occurred way before we even got to the sales part. The first point is that most of you are starting with a product or designing a product, and that's the whole problem. Typically, most Etsy sellers, they make something or buy something, they list it, and then they hope someone wants it. Okay, if that is you, comment below in this video and say, that's me. And I have reviewed thousands and thousands of Etsy shops, both on lives and on coaching calls and in trainings, and the same pattern shows up every time. And it's not that the sellers in those shops are lazy or not talented, it's that they created products for nobody in particular. And then nobody in particular showed up to buy. Essentially, you're just hoping that someone somewhere would see it and then want it. You don't really know who that person is until you would start selling it. But what if the product was not quite what they needed? What if the font was slightly off and not aligning with their aesthetic preferences? What if the colors were different than the trending colors that they're interested in this season? So the fix is to flip this. Customer first, product second. You're designing for a buyer that you've already chosen, which means you are deciding who you're selling to before you decide what you're selling. You're not just picking any random customer. You want to pick a profitable customer. So this means someone with job security, someone with discretionary income, someone who is not, living paycheck to paycheck, trying to find pennies under their couch. It is so much easier to sell a $50 sweatshirt to someone who has, let's say, $50,000 in their bank account than it is to sell that same exact $50 sweatshirt to someone whose last $50 you're taking. One person doesn't have to think about spending that money. The other person is deciding between buying your sweatshirt or buying groceries. And the only thing that changed is who you built that product for. So that's step one. But let me show you what designing for nobody actually looks like, because I can almost guarantee that you've made at least one listing like this. And these are the types of designs that I see over and over again. This is not to be overly critical or mean or anything. I want to be useful here. An SVG with a kitten poking out with big eyes. I would not be picturing this as a metal sign, kind of creepy over a crib. So how do we fix this? I would say if you want to do the type of a design or sell an SVG with a cat like that, let's make it look like the vintage, nostalgic 90s inspired vibe with the big eyes, but make it colorful, maybe add some apparel to a cat, sell it as a watercolor style graphic, not this big metal sign over a crib. All right, another one is this. Okay, a blue and white coastal bird pillow. Who is this targeting? Is this targeting a profitable customer? Who is the customer for this? There's not a whole lot of purpose and utility behind things like pillows. They are pretty much decorative. So if you're not going to do something that is very aesthetically trending or personalized, then I would recommend taking that bird, putting it on a different type of product. So maybe we turn it into a 12 theme with different birds and we put it onto wrapping paper. I had a seller in my program do over $130,000 with print on demand wrapping paper. Okay, another one is this. First of all, no one can see what that says in search results. They just see a guy in a sketchy alley. So no one can read what is on the shirt, which means the text on the shirt has no value. If you can't read it, it doesn't matter what it says. It's just a pattern at this point when people are scrolling, especially on mobile, and about 70% of people shop on mobile. I can't even see what it says on my desktop. Creepin' with my crew. Is this targeting a profitable customer? What do we think? Put your answers in the chat. I would say we're not. And especially with these types of color options, we would never want to curate this type of clashing color combinations for our customers. So that's where doing more of what's not working doesn't make it work. We don't have a sales problem or a traffic problem. We have a design problem. problem. Okay, another similar thing, a coffee o'clock with a cat. Who is the profitable customer for this? Who is it targeting? I don't even see if it's men's or women's. It's a little bit hard to tell. The SEO is way off. It is looking like it's positioned for women, but doesn't feel very feminine. This, again, is not a situation where we have a traffic problem. We need to get more traffic to this listing. I just need to do more Pinterest with this listing. No, that will not change anything. That will not make it get sales because we have a design problem. Same thing with something like this, right? Is the problem that we just need more traffic to this listing? No, it's not really targeting a profitable customer. And when I see what I would call more vanilla text like mom or live, laugh, love or breathe or be kind, those are very vanilla sayings that you might find at Hobby Lobby or Walmart. It's not something someone would pay $40 for on Etsy. It's a little confusing what these are in the sleeves. Mom and the bow are also competing as far as where the focus should be. They're both very similar in size and scale. So again, we don't need more traffic to this listing. We need to fix the design. And so to fix the design, we might do something like, let's add personalization on the sleeve. Let's add the kids' names on the sleeve. Let's change the font of mom. It's like Shriek Hand, I believe is the name of it in Canva. Very iconic, very easily identifiable as a Canva font. We want to change that font. I would also change the colors. We need some more dimension happening, maybe more of a two-tone play here. And so the design itself needs to change. That's the problem. Same thing with this one. The spacing is uneven. The font pairing is not going to win the sale. And where the graphics are placed doesn't quite make sense for all the negative space we have. The type of mockup is not going to win the sale either. This is a situation where we have a design problem. Same thing with this one. Like this just wouldn't sell, not because it's not getting enough traffic. You could send 5,000 people to it and it very likely still may not sell. I see it all the time with mugs actually, or here's like a bookmark here as well. Take a breath. Like, how is this going to convert someone? The type of interior color that they've chosen would need to change. Mockup itself would need to change and the spacing would need to change. There's a lot of updating that needs to happen to the design itself before we think I have a sales problem or a traffic problem. So let's say one of these copied a bestseller. Well, if yours is a copy of a bestseller, let me ask this. Why would they buy it from you if you have, for example, like this 3 sales in 8 months? By the way, in my Facebook group, all of these Etsy shops said, please feature my shop as an example for YouTube. So I'm not just picking random people. The fix here is not to copy someone's entire listing. It's not just to copy all their SEO and their pricing and their photos. It's to really understand what has made something sell. And likely if something is a bestseller, it peaked a little bit ago. It is not currently in its peak. The peak has most likely happened. Why would you want to be on the tail end of a peak on the downhill? If you notice, I didn't say that any of these product categories were a problem. Mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, pillows, none of those categories were the problem. The problem was that the seller didn't decide who the product was for. So there's a mismatch in what we call product market fit. The product does not fit the market. So this is exactly why 2 shops can sell almost an identical product and get completely different results. 100 listings designed for nobody perform the exact same as 10 listings designed for nobody. So volume does not fix a design problem. It just amplifies it. And so I would always rather have you have 10 strong listings built for real customers than 1,000 listings where you have no idea who you built them for every single time. And I know what some of you are thinking, my niche is too saturated for any of this to matter, but we're not picking a niche. Niches do not guarantee profitable customers. And if you want to learn about that, I would invite you to my next free class where I do a deep dive Etsy training where you really walk away with tactical action steps that you can implement. I have about 200 seats in every class. It is totally free, but save your spot, show up on time. I give out free resources in the beginning for all my people who show up on time. So I hope to see you there and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.